Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and welcome to another Wirecast tutorial, what we call quality of video. And basically, how is your video going to look? First of all, you can find me over at Geekazine, Think Magazine, put in a geek, Twitter handle Geekazine. I was doing a video the other day, and the video was really pixelated. In fact, the video myself was also kind of distorted. Like, you know how you have interlaced video and de-interlaced video, and when you have it set one way, you get, like, if I did this, you'd see a whole bunch of weird lines coming through my hands. But if you de-interlace the video, it doesn't do that. Well, it kind of did that same thing, although it wasn't a interlaced, de-interlaced thing. And I couldn't figure it out. And I've been using Wirecast for years, but I've actually found out why that is. And I'm going to show you this one too, because, it's a simple mistake. Because what you're trying to do is, it's what I'm trying to do, is you're trying to use as least amount of resources in your video, so you don't get those silly little skips. The part where it goes in the video, and you want to use as little resources as possible. So I set up, and of course the new Wirecast came out 6.06, which now works for El Capi 10 and works for Windows 10, even though the previous version worked pretty well. It fixed some bugs and stuff like that. But what it was doing is it was very pixelated. And I'm going to show you an example here. I'm going to go up to, you see my Wearable Today bug. That's the show I normally do on Mondays. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. But I want to show you something here really quick. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to here. Did you just see what happened? You see how pixelated that the live area just got? I'm going to switch it back. I'm going to switch it over to auto this time. As you can see, it just cleared itself up. I'm going to do it one more time. Output, canvas size, and 360p. As you can see, it got really pixelated. Now, if I switch it back, it clears itself up. Now, here's something. This is a very important piece, so you don't come into this problem, and I don't have this problem ever again. This viewable area, this live area, I think is what pretty much sets your stream and sets your record. So even if you record at a constant bit rate, at a constant frame rate, and you have it at a high frame rate and high bit rate, and you stream it to 360 or you stream it to 1080 to YouTube, it can still have that pixelated look to it if your screen size, your canvas size, is set to something like 360p. I didn't realize that, and because I basically didn't change this. Like I said, I was just trying to tweak things so the least amount of resources, so I don't have high CPU, and I can, don't get those little in the middle of my videos. So what I did was I changed this up, and it's really straightforward on how to do it. All you have to do is go to Output, you go to Canvas Size, and it's set to auto. I don't really like setting things to auto because it's kind of like, with Netflix. If you've ever used Netflix, you have that problem where if you're watching a video and all of a sudden it can't pull the HD stream, it'll dumb down the video, and then all of a sudden it gets really blurry because it's dumbing down to 360 or 480 or whatever to continue the video, but then it ramps itself back up. I don't want that to happen with any of my videos. I want to stay as constant as possible. So I will set this to 1080p straight up. That way, if there's any problems on 1080p, and of course, if I'm running a lot of intense programs and I'm doing lots of layers in my Wirecast, I might just push that down to 720p and then run a stream in 720p rather than 1080p or 480. But then I am going to record in 480. I'm going to stream in 480, so I don't have that pixelation. But right now I'm going to set the canvas size to 1080, so no problems right there. And as you can see, that little bug looks pretty good. And it also affects the lower thirds that I create. It also affects any of the layers that I put on here, and of course the video as well. You won't see the lines, like for instance, if I wave my hand in front of the video, you won't see any weird lines in doing that. And when you go to record, what you see on that screen is what is going to record there. And that's the important part here. So now your stream is going to look as best as possible. because high quality scrunched down is still high quality, but low quality pushed up is even lower quality, and that's something to remember here. So the big thing, your canvas size, don't mess with it. If you need to change your resources, and let's say you need to set this down, you probably could get away with setting it down to 720p. Anything lower, and you're going to really notice a difference, because there's always that ability to step up to the next 480 to 720, 720 to 1080. Always ability to step up, but if you step up more than one step, then that becomes a problem. So, the bottom line here is this: set your canvas size to whatever resolution that you're going to be recording in. And if you do set the canvas size over, that's okay, because it might even make the 720p look a little bit crisper at the end. But the whole thing is that it will be crisp and you won't have that pixelation. 360 and 480, I just didn't like the way it was pixelated. So don't even try and use it. In fact, I'm hoping Wirecast will just knock those out and be done with them, because I've got higher end video cards in both my Mac and my PC, and it was doing this very pixelated uh, look, and it just didn't make sense. So I'm not even going to record in 360 or 480, unless I might stream in 360, but I'm definitely going to record in 720 or 1080p. So, bottom line, like I said, you go to your output, you go to your canvas size, and you adjust your canvas size from there. And like I said, I always go 1080p. Remember also, if you go anamorphic, or if you do the 4:3 or the 5:4, if you have any other scenes set up, like I have intros and lower thirds set up, they'll actually scrunch it up. So my intro actually would be like if I played a 4:3 video on a HD screen. You'd actually see the sides of this video, and with the other video right on layered on top. So you'll have to make the adjustments if you decide to do that screen. But that's basically what's happening here, and it's very important, because once again, you don't want low quality video. You want to keep that as best as possible. Of course, if you're still looking to get Wirecast, you can always get Wirecast over at j.mp/Wirecast6. That is an affiliate code right there. So, of course, that helps me continue these Wirecast tutorials. So go over to j.mp /Wirecast6. That's a bit.ly link, by the way, just so you know. And of course, if you want to leave a tip, that's over at paypal.me/Jeff Powers, paypal.me/Jeff Powers, and go from there. Once again, this is pretty important, changing your canvas size. Don't do it unless you want that lower grade look to your Wirecast tutorial. We got a lot more tutorials coming up. This is the quality of video tutorial. And of course, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff, including what's going on here, because this is not a standard part of Wirecast. And I'm also going to be showing you the Black Magic box that I've been using for doing multiple cameras. So stay here, subscribe over at geekazine.com or at youtube.com/geekazine. Think magazine, put in a geek. Thanks a lot for watching, and you guys geek out.